So today I'm going to be ranking every alien from Ben 10 Classic from worst to best in my opinion. Keyword is my opinion here because I know that a lot of these are going to be unpopular opinions. Alright, let's jump into it. So number 22 is going to be BENVIKTOR. This is probably the only alien from the Classic series that I don't like. He is a part of that monster story arc which I liked from season 3. I guess it's just a personal preference. I happen to find this alien extremely boring, and I'm not really that sad that he only had one appearance. Coming in at number 21, we have Spitter, the first of the Ben 10,000 aliens. One thing you'll probably notice about the aliens at the bottom of the list is that they tend to have less screen time, but that's just because it's harder to rank aliens that we haven't seen that much of versus the ones we've seen a bunch. But yeah, for what we've seen of this alien, he is pretty cool. He seems to be most useful when Ben's kind of like handcuffed, like when his hands are being occupied, he can just kind of spit on the enemy. In the number 20 spot, we have BUZZSHOCK. I kind of feel the same about BUZZSHOCK as I do with Spitter, however, he's kind of cool because we saw him as an antagonist in season 1. As you'll see as we go higher up the list, I really have a love for aliens that have the black, white, and green color scheme. Coming in at number 19, the last of the Ben 10,000 aliens, this is going to be ARTICGUANA. Again, I like the design on this one, and it's actually surprising to me that we haven't had an ice alien before this one in the Classic series. You think it would be kind of a no-brainer to add an ice alien? An alien that almost serves as like a foil to HEATBLAST? But again, this is just one that I would have liked to see more of. Coming in at number 18, we have BENMUMMY. This is another alien from that Monsters arc in Season 3, and I actually like this one a decent amount. I really liked how when Ben first transformed into him unintentionally, that he had to like figure out how to use this alien under pressure. I think we actually only saw him during that Season 3 arc and then also during the Ken 10 episode. But I think a mummy is a unique and interesting choice for one of Ben's aliens. Coming in at number 17, we have RIPJAWS. I feel kind of bad putting him this low on the list considering he's just one of the classics. He does have a really awesome design, but when I really thought about it, I just like the other aliens on this list a lot more. Unless it's a mistransformation, which actually happens with this alien a decent amount, the episodes kind of have to be written in a way that can include RIPJAWS, if that makes sense. For example, his first appearance was written in and around water most of the time so that we can see him. I don't necessarily think that this is a bad thing, I just think it's something that limited his screen time in the Classic series. Coming in at number 16, we have STINKFLY. I was actually pretty torn on STINKFLY and RIPJAWS. I feel like they're pretty interchangeable as far as where they should be on the list. I really like the design of this alien. I like how the Omnitrix symbol is like right in the middle of his forehead. I also just realized he's the only alien that can really fly in the Classic series, which is pretty unique. I also really like the voice of STINKFLY. I feel like a lot of the aliens' voices, you can, take it or leave it, or you don't really notice it, but STINKFLY's is definitely one of the good ones. Coming in at number 15, we have EYEGUY. He only had, I think, 2 appearances in the Classic series, but I really like the powers and I love the design on this one. It's almost kind of ironic that his name is EYEGUY and he has eyes everywhere except for where they would traditionally be. But yeah, this one's mainly the design for me. I really do like it, and the powers are pretty cool as well. Coming in at number 14, we have UPCHUCK. With UPCHUCK and EYEGUY, again, those were 2 that I thought were kind of interchangeable, but I realized that UPCHUCK has a lot more screen time and a lot more awesome moments to judge him on. I love how he's actually really tiny, and I think it's really cool to note that his concept arts were pretty funky looking. If I could find them, I'll throw them on the screen for you guys. Coming in at number 13, this one is going to be probably one of the most controversial rankings, but this is going to be WAYBIG. This is just a personal gripe that I have. This can be applied to aliens like Forearms or Humongosaur. But I don't think bigger always means better. I get that Ben needs a lot of aliens that have, brute strength, but I much rather prefer like a unique power. I will 100% admit that WAYBIG's reveal in Secret of the Omnitrix is one of the coolest moments in the Classic series, but I kind of just see him as a big person. Again, powerful, you need aliens like that, it's just maybe not for me. Coming in at number 12 is GREYMATTER. This is a complete contrast from WAYBIG, but that's kind of why I love this alien. I think the fact that he overcompensates with brains because he underperforms with bronze is actually a really cool idea. And it's awesome when Ben mistransforms into GREYMATTER because it's interesting to see how he gets out of it. Number 11 is going to be WILDVINE. The first time Ben transforms into WILDVINE is one of my favorite transformations. Just the way that he goes about unlocking him and his reaction was just awesome. I love those little pods on his back that fall off and explode upon impact. Alright, we are now in top 10 territory. Number 10 is going to be WILDMUTT. I tried not to let nostalgia play too big of a factor for this one, being that he is in the first episode, but regardless, he's a really cool alien. This is actually probably Ben's only feral alien in the Classic series. I love how he doesn't have traditional eyes and he sees out of those gills like on his neck. Number 9 is going to be DITTO. I really love this alien's debut episode in season 4. It kind of happens when he's under pressure and it's really interesting to see him try to figure out this alien's powers. Also, a really unique concept about this alien is if all the Dittos aren't in the same place when the Omnitrix times out, It almost kind of tries to force them together so it can time out. We saw him a couple times in season 4, mostly from Ben and one time from Kenny, but this is one that I definitely wanted to see more in the classic series. Number 8 is going to be BENWOLF. I don't think anybody would argue with me when I say this alien is just one of the coolest aliens. When I first watched his debut episode when I was like 9 or 10, I thought he was a regular werewolf, but the sonic howl kind of tells us that that's not the case and that this is an alien werewolf. I just love all of it. I think the concept is really cool, how Ben slowly turns into the werewolf. They made a point in his debut episode of emphasizing how he can collect alien DNA, and we even see the BENWOLF icon on the Omnitrix a couple times before the episode ends. But again, this is an alien that we don't really see again, and I wish we did. Coming in at number 7, we have forearms. When I was making this list, I was actually surprised at how high up he was, and the reason for that being just my opinion on the brute strength aliens as I touched upon when I talked about WAYBIG. I do really like the design, and I do think Ben needs a brute strength alien. I did find my favorite things about this alien were kind of the things that we didn't see that much. For example, he has the ability to do like these giant leaps. And even better, he has the ability to do like these sonic claps that just like totally destroy anything in its path. Overall, he is a pretty cool and iconic alien. Coming in at number 6 is going to be CANNONBOLT. I would say this is probably the most popular alien from Classic that isn't in the original 10. Again, a great design and really cool powers. I love how he can just like ricochet off trees and just destroy anything in a room. And I know this video is supposed to be strictly about the Classic series, but I will have to say, when I watched him reappear in Alien Force, I was a little bit giddy. Overall, I'm always going to be happy to see CANNONBOLT on the screen. Coming in at number 5, we have Accelerate. Probably my favorite thing about this alien is the design and sound of his visor moving. Between the visor and just the design of Accelerate, I think it gives me like this tech vibe. And similar to Forearms, a lot of Accelerate's abilities that I like the most are the ones that aren't really shown that much. I had a couple that I had in mind, but I can't seem to remember them, but one that does come to mind is the ability to make like these tornadoes. Coming in at number 4, we have DIAMONDHEAD. Essentially, he's made of and can control crystals. I like in that one season 4 episode, Perfect Day, how he basically like creates a hand out of crystals. I think that was pretty unique. Also, like we saw in the first episode and a couple times after, I really like when he makes his hand into like a blade almost. I also think there was a time where he took out the crystals on his back and used them as like boomerangs. Again, just another classic. I really love DIAMONDHEAD. Coming in at number 3, we have HEATBLAST. Definitely a classic. Obviously, it's the first alien we ever saw in the entire Ben 10 franchise. I love the voice work for this alien. The design is super clean, and obviously the powers are basic but really cool. We see him go supernova at one point, he makes tornadoes, shoots fireballs, and can even craft like a fire hoverboard when he's in the air. I think it's pretty much indisputable that HEATBLAST is a top 3 alien, at least when you're talking about the classic series. Coming in at number 2, my second favorite alien from Ben 10 Classic is going to be Upgrade. He has the ability to merge with technology and just regular machinery, and he has a really cool design. He has a similar color scheme to BUZZSHOCK and DITTO, which I mentioned earlier. I really like that color scheme. This is also one where I like his abilities that aren't shown that often. For example, in season 1, he shot this beam out of his eye, and I don't even know if we see him do that for the rest of the series. Also, in season 1, when he's merged with a bike, he creates this spike out of the wheel, and I don't think we see that too often either. Coming in at number 1 by process of elimination, my all-time favorite alien from Classic is going to be GHOSTFREAK. I love the design. I think they achieved what they were really going for when they made this alien, in that he's supposed to be creepy. Another one like HEATBLAST, where I just absolutely love the voice. And it's probably safe to say that the GHOSTFREAK escaping the Watch storyline is one of my, if not my favorite storyline from Classic. Going into the first 2 seasons of Classic, this alien just has so much mystery around him, and I really love it. He abides by some traditional ghost tropes, like being able to phase through stuff, but I love the stuff that they added that gives it that alien element. Like those tentacles that come out of his chest, they're pretty freaky. And it's honestly kind of a bummer to me that he escaped the Watch because he's my favorite alien. So that was my list ranking every alien that Ben appeared as in the Classic series. If you guys want to see me do Alien Force and on, let me know down below, and I will see you guys next time.